Okay, the tournament is on. You're starting to get bout sheets come into your table. Time to start recording. You will notice that all the brackets have the bout numbers located at each wrestler. So what we want to do here is, if, for example, we have a bye, to advance a wrestler, take their seed number and simply type it in to the next level of the bracket by typing in their seed number, number 1, and that will transfer down his name, his school, and it updates its record. But because it's a bye in the tournament, it should not get an update. So underneath the fall, you are going to type in the word bye. Now when you do this, that will change the 32 to a 31. It doesn't give that person a win by a bye. Alright, now let's scroll down in our bracket here and let's look at bout number 3. Here we have two wrestlers. They wrestled. Let's say the 5th seed wins. We type him in. Now if this wrestler won by a pin, you are going to put the total pin time in. Let's say he won this match in 3 minutes and 40 seconds was the pin. So we'll type in a 3. You type in a colon and whatever the seconds. 3:25 we'll say. Whatever. Type that in and now we have a fall and they can see what the pin time was. If the wrestler wins by a disqualification, we type in the initials DQ. If it's a forfeit, FF. If it's a default, DF. Just type that in. If it is a score, so let's say Matt won from Paradise Value, let's say the score was 12-3, 12-3. We're always going to put the winning wrestler's score first, the opponent second. That's how we enter the scores. The points will be tallied up over here to the right. Now, this first set of matches will, if you scroll all the way down on the table here of the scores, you will see that it says round A sells H through M, and here's Desert Edge. He is advancing by a bye. No points are yet to be awarded. The Paradise Valley advances by a win, so they get 2 points, and because it was a major, that's a 1 underneath the fall points. This is where every round your scores will be calculated. Now, one thing that you may be asking is why is everything in yellow right next to our bracket? Why are we not using this? Well, that's because this is a 16 team bracket. I took it from a 32 team bracket. So this would be the round prior to having 16 teams in it. That's what it's there for. We may have to use that if you happen to have a bracket that's going to have 17 wrestlers in it, and you have to have a pigtail in there. That's where we'll keep track of the scores. So keeping track of these scores, if you happen to have a pigtail, we'll just have to type this in by hand. We'll have your separate match, that pigtail will wrestle in, and this is where you're going to have all that information. What's going to be important to understand in tournament scoring is everybody here is going to have to advance by a bye. So the bummer here, I'm sorry, But down here, everything's taken care of automatically. But now, we may have to go back up here, and by hand, everybody who advances by a win, we would have to go back and hand type these B's for a bye to a advancement point of 2 points. Okay? I had to take out the formulas because I didn't want to treat it like a 32-man bracket and have scores showing up that weren't true representation of a 16-man tournament. Thank you. Okay, more scoring notes. You will notice on our headings up here, each one of these rounds will have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So if a wrestler loses a team point, this is where we would put in the -1, and you put it in for the round for which they wrestled at. So for example, if Buckeye happened to get an unsportsmanlike penalty and they had a deduction of 1 T point, we simply type in -1 at that location. Again, all these will be done by hand. The rest of the scoring will be done automatically. Thank you.